You know, I really don't know what I should do with this. Yep. With the help of a friend, I got my license plate moved today. Now, the wiring for the tag lights and reverse lights was all mixed in with this right down through here. So we separated that, and I ran it back through here into the side of the trunk and out through a factory grommet, if I can find it, right there. Drilled a hole through the factory grommet and ran it out behind the back bumper. Now, I made a little piece to go behind this out of aluminum, and we added in some 2-part epoxy when we put this together. Seems like it's holding, should stay there. Now you notice I've got 2 lights here now. Reason being is because I went ahead and ordered another one of these. These are only like $8 on eBay, but they don't fit a license plate for the United States. Because I had to get rid of this. This is that backup light and I had the last video. Look at all the water in it. Hadn't even been on there that long. Yeah, these are junk. Don't buy these. Well, I guess it's about time for me to drill that out right there. Now once that rivet is gone, you turn the lock cylinder to the right and it slides right on in. Just in case you run into this incident, I used a punch and a hammer and knocked the center out of it. Now it'll be really easy to either push out or drill out, which I might just try to push it out from the inside or not even have to drill, or I may drill that. A little bit of drilling on the back side, and I pushed it. Look at that. Yep. Now, yep, done. That's something I didn't know about until now. That's a lot of rust I'm gonna have to clean up. That's pretty green. Man, that already looks better. There's nothing there. And if you can't guess, or if you haven't guessed what I'm doing, I'm planning on shaving that whole area with a piece of metal. So it took me 2 tries, but I got a pattern. Hopefully I can get that over on some metal. Oh boy. This is fun. Trying to get a little bit of structure in it. And you already see that it's got a little bit of a curve. Just need to flatten out the metal a little bit. I have a feeling some of these marks are going to stay in the metal. Oh well, that's what body filler's for. So I got a curve on it. And got some of the marks out of it. It should work. Now I'm going to have to take it home, cut it out, and weld it. I hit that rust with a wire wheel. Now, just put a little bit of rust reformer on it and some primer. So, the other night, I got a piece of round bar and I put a little curve in it, and I notched it on each end so it would fit right in. Now I welded it up with some flux core. Seems like it's on there. So I had to run this piece back through the English wheel again. It was kind of tin canish. It went boingy boingy when I put it up on the back of the car. Plus this side over here I didn't get curved right. So you just work it out a little bit more and should be fine. Boy, that thin metal. Yeah, this one's kind of hard to weld in. And you can see I had a little bit of excess metal that kept on bubbling out. So I knocked it in. I can still get in behind it. I might knock it back out. Yeah, I got it tack welded up, wire wheeled it a little bit. I think I'm done for the night. Spray a little primer on it so it don't rust. Yeah, it's got some waviness in it. Yeah, it's got a little waviness in it, but that's fine. I'll work it out. Yeah, let's see if I can get some of this welded up tonight. Now I'm getting a little bit at a time. Seems to be going in. I keep on blowing through the metal because it's so thin. As you can see right there, the holes that blow through. You just got to come back and touch them up later. One of my friends asked me about that bulge right there and what I was going to do about that. Well, I put 2 slices in it, and I'm using this cheap pry bar and a hammer and trying to flatten out that metal as best I can, see if I can move it up and weld it shut. This is probably going to look like crap when I get done, but oh well. Well, it may not be bulged out anymore. Don't look the best, but at least it's not sticking out. Got it all welded up. I'm not real happy with it. That thin metal, it's like 26 gauge. It hard to work with. But everything's all welded up. I've hit it with a grinder once already. Need to hit it with some finer grit. And then I guess either I'm going to be putting in some body filler, or I might be making that piece to go across there. Got a brand new fresh can of Bondo glass, some brand new spreaders, and use my onion board, and these are worth their money. Seems like everything I'm doing is fighting me, but I got one layer on. That looks horrible, but hopefully it'll sand out. Now I sanded it a tiny little bit and thought I'd give it a coat of primer for the night. I sanded down the first coat of fiberglass filler and added a rough coat of regular body filler. It's actually looking pretty smooth. Not too bad. A couple little spots I'm gonna have to fill in a little bit more, but just sprayed some fresh primer on it. That's why it looks streaked. Not too bad for now. I miscoated a little black on it. The black will show me where my highs and lows are when I go to sand it. And I will tell you, I like that so much better than this. You know, I really don't know what I should do with this. Yep. Now let's see if I can get this thing sanded down and get it smooth today. I got everything sanded down pretty smooth and I liked it, but I had a few low spots. So I just mixed up a batch and threw it to it again. I'm hoping this is the last coat. This thing's gonna be a Bondo bucket by the time it gets done. That may look like a lot of filler, but it's not actually as much as what you think. I think I sanded most of it off. While I'm waiting on some of my product to dry here, let's talk about this. This is what you call a welder's blanket. Now, I bought this back in the early 2000s when I bought my welder, and it was one of the best investments I ever did. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube welding, and they don't seem to either use these or have them. And believe me, they save stuff. I mean, when I welded this up, I don't need a bunch of little pinholes down here from sparks in my rubber bumper. The new taillights that I put in, I don't need a bunch of pinholes in those. These things save time and money. They're worth the investment. If you go to buy a welder or you own a welder, get one of these. Well, I finally made it up to 220 grit on my sander, and it's not looking too bad. May not be perfect yet, but it's getting real close. And I think it's starting to sprinkle, so I might just go ahead and throw a coat of high build primer on it. So, for primer, I'm using Rust-Oleum Automotive Filler Primer, and it sprays out pretty thick. Probably going to use spray paint on all the Decklid when I get done with it, because I got an idea, and spray paint's just going to be easier to do. And plus, I kind of want to see how it's going to hold up. Might hold up better than automotive paint. Well, I put a nice thick coat on it. And I can see a few imperfections in it. There's one spot down here at the bottom that I just completely missed. See if I can find it right there. Yeah, I just completely missed that spot. Oh well. The curve is looking good. I'm gonna let this tack up, and I might scuff it a little bit more and maybe give it another coat tonight. See what it looks like. I shot another coat of that fillable primer on, and I think I'm done for the night because it started to get cool and It's taking a while for stuff to dry. Well, this looks to be the never-ending sanding story. I started sanding on the upper part of the Decklid. I'm trying to get some of the clear coat left. As you can see right in here, that's clear coat, and the clear coat was peeling off of the Decklid. See if I can see. The clear coat was peeling, so I need to get all that sanded off. And in the process, I started sanding on the back of it again, and just gave it another coat of primer. It's getting smoother and smoother every time I do it. There's a better angle of it. That was peeling clear coat. It's just old clear coat, started fading away. And as you can see, that clear coat comes all the way out to here. Now, I want to sand that off because I feel that may still give out. Even with new paint over top of it, that clear coat could come back up. So if I get the majority of that off of there, I might be safe. I got it all sanded down, and I think I'm ready for a nice thick coat of primer on the whole Decklid. It took a full can to primer that whole Decklid. Well, I'm happy with it. Now, of course, it's going to need some more sanding and maybe even another coat of primer. So maybe we can get that done in the next episode and maybe even throw some paint down on it. See you then. Whew. I need to take this thing to the car wash.